right. So today I want to talk about shader graphs. Let me get a share screen going. All right. Let me park this over here. So shader graphs are something that comes with the programmable, scriptable render pipelines. There's an example site here where some of which I'll show you today. But I don't know if you've ever tried to write a shader. It's a whole new arcane language with a lot of strange things to know about. This is basically the template that comes up when you open a new shader, when you create a new shader, and it's kind of just the standard default. But ShaderGraph is another way of doing this. It only works with the either the high definition or the universal render pipelines. You can either start this, if I start a new game, I have the choice of the high definition or the universal render pipeline, and this would automatically load a bunch of stuff that you need for the for this render pipeline. A warning: both of these pipelines break almost everything in this that involves standard shaders. So use at your own risk, especially with existing projects. Make backups because you may want to revert. The other way to include the one of these is through the package manager. So here I've already added the universal, I've already added the universal render pipeline. Documentation's available here, and this automatically adds both the visual effect graph, which is another way of doing particles, and it also adds the shader graph. So these all come in, and the shader graph is what we're going to look at today. So you can load it from the package manager into a non-renderer pipeline project. If you do this, you have to go into preferences and add a universal render pipeline asset. The render pipeline comes automatically with 3 of these. Somewhere down here. It comes automatically with, this is using the lightweight render pipeline. Sorry about that. So in a pipeline, you have to go into preference graphics and select a pipeline asset. You can make these are kind of how you define the scriptable pipeline, but universal render comes with a high, low, and medium quality pipeline. In bringing this into a project that already had a bunch of materials, the old standard materials, there is an easy way to convert to upgrade project materials to the universal render pipeline materials. There's some that it doesn't do, but most standard shader materials will be upgraded. There's no easy way to go back, so be sure to make a backup in case you want to revert. A lot of Unity blog and discussions have talked about the fact that these scriptable render pipelines are the future. So they are worth looking at. The high definition pipeline is for hefty hardware, uh, uh, such as gamer PCs, whereas the universal render pipeline, which, as I mentioned previously, was lightweight, is for less strong machines and perhaps even for mobile devices. Here's some pictures from my computer, the high definition render pipeline for this scene, just kind of looking into it, generates 18 to 20 frames per second. The universal render pipeline is much faster at 66 to 68. There is, of course, a difference in quality between the two. And this is the exact same scene in the standard pipeline, or the standard renderer. This is the scene that you get with the 3D extra stuff in that opening menu. I did check this, and most of the cost here is the post-processing that's adding vignetting and doing some other stuff. If you turn post-processing off, it goes up to a much higher frame rate. So I'm going to pause here to keep these videos relatively short, and I will pick up next time with the ShaderGraph. So I'll stop sharing and I'll end recording, and I'll see you in class.